Diary entry number 14. A brief moment of me. Before I start this chapter, I want to say something important. People heal differently. There is no right and no wrong way. But looking back now, I can see that after I escaped number 1, I didn't heal at all. I survived. I rebuilt. I worked. I stayed busy. But healing? Yeah. I didn't know how to do that yet. I didn't know I should have been seeing doctors for old injuries. I didn't know that trauma could live in the body long after the bruises fade. I didn't know that surviving abuse and recovery from abuse were two completely different things. If I could go back and tell that version of myself one thing, it would be this. You escaped. I'm proud of you. Now it's time to heal. You need therapy, and you need to check out old injuries that never got medical care for. But I didn't know that then. Rather than healing, I was avoiding my trauma and pushing it down just like I had been trained to do in my abusive relationship. This diary entry is called A Brief Moment of Me. Because for a little while, before life threw me another curveball, I got a glimpse of who I was underneath all the survival. I remember throwing myself into my job at a hotel, picking up shifts in all aspects of the job, so I didn't have to live in the past hurt. I worked so hard there was no time to actually think about what I had just went through. I still didn't know how to deal with feelings very well since abuse makes you shut down that part of you. If anything was off or I had customers with bad attitudes or screamed at me, I would hold it in until I was alone. I would still release with self-harm because to me that was the only thing that made me feel better. I know it sounds crazy, but seeing physical pain was easier to deal with than the inside pain that I was feeling, that I couldn't see. I really didn't think about it. I always wore long sleeves, but one day I pushed up my sleeves just a little too far. A coworker noticed. I was embarrassed and ashamed. But you know what? She didn't ridicule me. Instead, she comforted me. She knew exactly what I had been through. She hugged me so good, it made me feel whole again. She said, I understand. Are you okay? I'm here if you ever want to talk about anything. She did say she wanted me to stop self-harming, not because she thought it was bad, but because she was worried about me. I finally had a friend that knew my secret pain. What a huge relief. It took me a long time to break that habit and try to turn my focus elsewhere when I had the need to do it. I actually did good for a while. I took on a new position for overnights called night audit. I didn't have to deal with many people. It was very quiet. I was able to do pretty much anything. I was able to purchase myself a laptop at the time, so I would bring it in with me, play games, listen to music. Everyone basically was asleep aside from the late night travelers. The doors were locked, so I would have to buzz people in. I felt pretty safe. I was finding things that I liked. My friend had told me about Pinterest, so I spent most of my time pinning things, looking at things I liked, like recipes and clothing styles and hairstyles. I could tell I had changed inside. Things that I used to like were no longer things that I valued. I would also pick up breakfast attendant shifts as well, and I helped the cleaners when we were booked solid. I did lots to keep my mind out of my past. Looking back now, I realized something. For the first time in years, I was beginning to build a life that belonged to me. I was working. I was making friends. I was discovering things I enjoyed. I was learning who I was outside of the abuse. And for a while, that was enough. I wasn't looking for a relationship. I wasn't looking for love. I wasn't looking for anyone to save me. I just wanted peace. I wanted a home for Puppy and me. I wanted stability. I wanted a chance to figure out who I was when I wasn't in survival mode. For a brief moment, I had that. For a brief moment, I got to be me. But life has a funny way of changing directions when you least expect it. And sometimes the people who enter your life don't always arrive carrying red flags. Sometimes they arrive exactly what you've been missing. And that's where the next chapter begins. Come back next week as we begin the story of my second abusive relationship. I'm a soft-spoken survivor, and this is the Nervous System Diaries.